The 1,000-yard stare, it can be simply defined as the unfocused gaze of someone who has seen too much. It's a characteristic of those who have experienced war and combat zones, and is most commonly associated with the victims of shell shock, or in today's terminology, PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder. By the time World War I came around in 1914, technology and weaponry had advanced greatly since the days of Napoleon. Battlefields were deadlier, with more varied and horrific ways of attacking and killing the enemy, leading to psychological trauma en masse in a way that really hadn't been seen before. The first recorded use of the term shell shock was by Dr. and Captain Charles S. Myers, writing a report for the paper The Lancet in February 1915. In it, he examined the cases of 3 young men he studied, 2 privates and a corporal, breaking down the symptoms they displayed. From here, a list of common but extremely varied symptoms of shell shock was defined, which included sleeplessness, anxiety, fear, harassing sights and experiences, mania, mental confusion, memory loss, hallucinations and delusions, severe psychosis, and in some cases, a complete mental breakdown or mental stupor. As well as these mental symptoms, physical symptoms were also recorded such as headaches, nausea, and dizziness, also referred to as neurasthenia. Dr. William Aldrin Turner, building off Myers' report, wrote about his findings at base hospitals in France. Dr. Turner spoke about neurasthenia and the impact of witnessing extreme war violence on an individual. He stressed the link between physical symptoms and mental issues, strongly identifying cases where mental shock led to other physiological symptoms, such as deaf mutism that continued long after it should have subsided. Although 1915 was the first recorded mention of shell shock, it's now estimated that by December 1914, 7 to 10% of all British officers and 3 to 4% of other ranks were suffering from it. In the cases of those with neurasthenia, Turner recommended rest and recovery at home, although the degree of severity of nervous shock and neurasthenia affected his recommendations.